This is Human Resource Management, Chapter 9, Employee Development. Employee development is a key contributor to a company's competitive advantage by helping employees understand their strengths, weaknesses, and interests by showing them how new jobs and expanded job responsibilities are available to them to meet their personal growth needs. This helps retain valuable managers who might otherwise leave to join clients or competitors. Development is important for all employees, not just managers, and is also necessary component of a company's efforts to compete, meet the challenges of global competition and social change. Also, to incorporate technological advances and changes in work design. Employee development is key to ensuring that employees have the competencies necessary to serve customers and create new products and customer solutions, and for retaining talented employees. Because companies and their employees must constantly learn and change to meet customer needs and compete in new markets. The emphasis placed on training and development has increased. This chapter begins by discussing the relationship between development, training, and careers. Choosing an approach is one part of development planning. Second, before employees choose development activities, the employee and the company must have an idea of the employee's development needs and the purpose of development. Identifying the needs and purpose of development is a part of its planning. The second section of the chapter describes the steps of the development planning process. Employee and company responsibilities at each step of the process are emphasized. Third, we look at development approaches, including formal education, assessment, job experiences, and international relationships. The chapter emphasizes the types of skills, knowledge, and behaviors that are strengthened by each development methods, and concludes with a discussion of special issues in employment employee development, including succession planning and using development to help women and minorities move into upper level management positions, also referred to as melting the glass ceiling. Our learning objectives are explaining how employee development contributes to strategies related to employee retention, developing intellectual capital, and business growth. Discuss steps in the development planning process. Explain the employees and companies' responsibilities in planning development. Discuss current trends in using formal education for development. Relate how assessment of personality type, work behaviors, and job performance can be used for employee development. We'll also explain how job experiences can be used for skill development, develop successful mentoring programs, describe how to train managers to coach employees, discuss what companies are doing for melting the glass ceiling, and also, lastly, use the 9 box grid for identifying where employees fit in a succession plan and construct appropriate development plans for them. This table shows comparison between training and development. Development is the acquisition of knowledge, skills, and behaviors that improve an employee's ability to meet changes in job requirements and in client and customer demands. Development also refers to formal education, job experiences, relationships, and assessment of personality and abilities that help employees prepare for the future. Development prepares them for other positions in the company. Increases it also increases their ability to move into jobs that may not yet exist, and help them prepare for changes in their current jobs that may result from new technology, work designs, new customers, or new product markets. Development is especially critical for talent management, particularly for senior managers and employees with leadership potential. Training is important to all employees, not just managers. Traditionally, training focuses on helping employees' performance and their current jobs. So careers are the sequence of positions held within an occupation and are boundaryless and they often change. A protein career is based on self-direction with the goal of psychological success in one's work. Psychological success is the feeling of pride and accomplishment that comes from achieving life goals. And development planning systems is the retaining and motivating employees by identifying and meeting development needs, also called the career management systems. Employees need to develop new skills rather than rely on a static knowledge base. This has resulted from companies needing to be responsive to customer service and product demands. Career success may not be tied to promotions, but to achieving goals that are personally meaningful to the employee rather than those set by parents, peers, or the company. Careers are best managed through partnerships between employees and their company that create a positive relationship through which employees are committed to the organization, but can take personal control for managing their own careers to benefit themselves and the company. Companies' development planning systems vary in the level of sophistication and the emphasis they place on different components of the process. Self assessment refers to the use of information by employees to determine their career interests, values, aptitudes, and behavioral tendencies. It often involves psychological tests such as the Myers Briggs type indicator, Strong Campbell interest inventory, and the self directed search. Reality check refers to the information employees receive about the company, about how the company evaluates their skills and knowledge and where they fit into the company's plans. Goal setting refers to the process of employees developing short and long-term development objectives. These goals usually relate to desired positions, level of skill application, work setting, or skill acquisition. These goals are usually discussed with the manager and written into a development plan. An action plan is a written strategy that employees use to determine how they will achieve their short and long term career goals. Examples of questions in a development plan that asks employees include the following: in professional goals and motivation. It would have something like, "What professional goals do I have, or what excites me to grow professionally?" For talents or strengths, it will be, "What are my talents and strengths?" For development opportunities, it will be, "What development needs are important to improve?" And lastly, for development objectives and action steps, it will be something like, "What will be my objective for this plan, and what steps can I take to meet the objectives?"
Employee development approaches. To retain and motivate employees, companies need to provide a system to identify and meet employees' developmental needs. Formal education programs include off-site and on-site programs designed specifically for the company's employees, short courses offered by consultants or universities, executive MBA programs, and university programs. Assessment involves collecting information and providing feedback to employees about their behavior, communication styles, or skills. Personality test typically measures five major dimensions: extroversion, adjustment, agreeableness, consciousness, and inquisitiveness. MBTI, the most popular psychological test for employee development, consists over 100 questions about how the person feels or prefers to behave in different situations. Benchmarks is an instrument designed to measure the factors that are important to being a successful manager. Performance appraisals is the process through which an organization gets information on how well an employee is doing his or her job. Upward feedback refers to appraisals that involve collecting subordinates, evaluations of managers' behaviorals or skills. The 360-degree feedback system is a performance appraisal system for managers that includes evaluation from a wide range of persons who interact with the manager. Job experience are the relationship, problems, demands, tasks, and other features that employees face in their jobs. Mentoring and coaching are two types of interpersonal relationships that are used to develop employees. Assessment centers. The evaluators are normally managers from the organizations who have been trained to identify behaviors related to the skills assessed. A leaderless group discussion is a process in which a team of 5 to 7 employees solve an assigned problem together with a certain time period. An interview refers to when employees are questioned about their work and personal experience, skills, and career plans. In basket is a stimulation of the administrative tasks of a manager's job. Role plays refer to a participant taking the part or a role of a manager or other employee. Assessment center exercises are designed to measure employees' administrative and interpersonal skills. Skills typically measured include leadership, oral and written communication, judgment, organizational ability, and stress tolerance. As illustrated in Table 9.5, examples of skills measured by the assessment centers include leadership, problem solving, interpersonal, administrative, and personal. Skills for managerial success. In the table 9.5 provides skills, then attributes related to managerial success such as resourceful, quick study, compassionate, straightforward, confront problems, decisive, self-aware, and flexible. It also included our abilities to do whatever it takes, lead, build and mend relationships, develop team balance, hire talented staff, put others to ease, and display warmth and good sense of humor. 360-degree feedback activities. To effectively use the 360-degree feedback, understand strengths, weaknesses, identify a developmental goal, and have a process for recognizing goal accomplishments and strategies for reaching the developmental goals. Understanding strengths and weaknesses. Review ratings for your strengths and weaknesses. Identify skills for behaviors where self and others, manager, peer, customers, and rating agree and disagree. Identify a developmental goal. Choose a skill or behavior to develop. Set a clear, specific goal with a specified outcome. Identify a process for recognizing goal accomplishments. Identify strategies for reaching the developmental goal. Job experience for career development. Job experience can be used for employee development, such as enlarging the current job rotation, transfer, promotions, downward moves, and temporary assignments. Job rotation gives employees a series of job assignments in various functional areas of the company or movement among jobs in a single functional area or department. In a transfer, an employee is assigned a job in a different area of the company. Transfers do not necessarily increase job responsibilities or compensations. They are likely lateral moves. Volunteer assignments may give employees opportunities to manage change, teach, and have a high level of responsibility and be exposed to other job demands. Promotions are advancements into positions with great challenges, more responsibility, and more authority than in the previous job. Promotions usually include pay increases. A downward move occurs when an employee is given less responsibility and authority. This may involve a move to another position at the same level, a temporary cross-functional move, or a demotion because of poor performance. Job demands and lesson learned. At this table, it shows job demands and the lessons employees learn from each, such as making transitions, dealing with unfamiliar responsibilities, developing new directions, creating change, having high-level responsibility with high-level stakes, facing obstacles such as adverse business conditions, lack of personal support, or a difficult boss, and being involved in a non-authority relationship to influence peers or others.
Job experiences are essential for employee growth and skill enhancement. These experiences can come in different forms. Job enlargements involve adding new challenges or responsibilities to make a job more interesting and help employees to develop broader skills. Job rotation, moving an employee from one job to another to expose them to various functions and operations. Transfer, assigning an employee to a different position or department within the company. Promotion, advancing an employee to a higher position with greater responsibility and authority. Downward move, reducing an employee level of responsibility or authority, often to help them refocus or develop in other areas. Temporary assignments allow employees to gain experiences outside their regular roles. Externship, employees temporarily take on a full-time operational role in another company to gain broader experience. Um, Sabbatical, a leave of absence granted to employees for skill development, learning, or personal renewal. Successful mentoring programs. A good mentoring program starts with a voluntary participation and flexible matching process so mentors and mentees fit well. Mentors are chosen for their ability and willingness to help with a clear purpose and defined program length. There should be a minimum level of contact and regular communication between participants to keep the relationship strong. The program must be evaluated to track progress, and employees' development should be rewarded to motivate growth. Benefit of mentoring relationships. Mentoring provides both professional and personal development through supportive relationships. Career support. Mentors, coach, sponsors, and provide visibility opportunities for proteges. Psychological support. Mentors act as a role model, offering emotional support, acceptance, and a safe space for sharing concerns. Group mentoring program involves pairing experienced senior employees with less experienced ones to encourage shared learnings. Coaching. A coach is a peer or manager who helps employees to motivate themselves, develop skills, and um, receive reinforcements and feedbacks. Three main roles of a coach: one-on-one guidance, help employees learn and improve. The third one is providing access to resources like mentors, training courses, or job experiences. Career management process. The career management process involves four key stages. The first one is self-assessment, identifying strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. Number two, reality check, evaluating whether current career goals are realistic and achievable. The third one is goal settings, establishing clear and measurable career objectives. Number four is action planning, create steps and a timeline to reach these goals.
For this slide, we have the development plan. A development plan helps guide employees in improving their skills and preparing for future opportunities within the organization. It starts by identifying their competencies and strengths, which are the abilities they already perform well in. After that, we look at the areas for improvement, the parts where they can still grow or develop further. Once these are identified, we can set a career development goal that matches both the employee's personal goals and the company's needs. They may also be given new assignments to apply what they've learned and gain more experience. Lastly, the plan includes training and development needs, which focuses on the learning activities or programs that will help them reach their goals. Overall, a development plan makes sure employees continue to improve, grow, and contribute effectively to the organization. For this slide, we'll discuss the special issues that organizations often face in employee development. These issues can affect how employees grow and how effective the overall development process becomes. The first issue is the glass ceiling. This refers to the invisible barrier that prevents certain employees, often women or minorities, from advancing to higher positions despite their qualifications and performance. It highlights the need for fair opportunities and inclusive leadership. The second is the dysfunctional managers. These are leaders who may lack proper management skills or show negative behaviors, which can discourage employees' growth and lower morale. Effective training and feedback are important to address this problem. Lastly, we have succession planning. This focuses on preparing future leaders who can take over key positions when current leaders retire or move on. Without proper succession planning, an organization may face difficulties in maintaining stability and performance. Overall, addressing these special issues helps ensure a fair, healthy, and sustainable employee development system. This slide focuses on how organizations can melt the glass ceiling, or in other words, remove barriers that limits employees, especially women and minorities from advancing to higher positions. First, senior management must actively support and be involved in the program. Leadership commitment is essential for real change to happen. Second, make a business case for change. This means showing how equal opportunities benefit not only employees but also improve the organization's overall performance and reputation. Third, make the change public to encourage transparency and accountability. Organizations should also gather data on the causes of the glass ceiling through task forces or focus groups and surveys. This helps identity where inequality actually occurs. Next, it's important to create awareness about how gender attitudes affect the workplace, promoting respect and inclusivity among all employees. There should always be accountability by reviewing promotion rates and assignment decisions to ensure fairness in opportunities. Lastly, companies must promote development for all employees so everyone has equal access to training and career advancement. By taking these steps, organizations can build a more inclusive and equitable work environment where everyone has a chance to succeed. This slide explains succession planning. Succession planning is the process of identifying and tracking employees who have high potential to take on higher level managerial positions in the future. It ensures that the organizations is prepared when key leaders retire or resign or even move to other roles. These individuals are called high potential employees. They are the ones the company believes can successfully handle leadership responsibilities when the time comes. Through succession planning, organizations can develop these employees early by providing mentorship, leadership training, and challenging assignments. In summary, succession planning helps maintain stability and continuity in leadership while supporting the long-term growth of both the employee and the organization. Now, let's move on to the 9-box grid, which is a common tool used in succession planning and employee development. The 9-box grid is a framework that helps organizations evaluate employee based on two key factors: performance and potential. It's called the 9-box because it visually divides employees into 9 categories depending on how they score in these two areas. Employees with high performance and high potential are often seen as strong candidates for leadership positions. On the other hand, those with lower performance or potential may need more support, training, or mentoring to grow further. This system helps managers make fair and data driven decisions about promotions, training programs, and development priorities. Overall, the 9 grid allows organizations to clearly see where their employees stand and how they can guide towards future leadership or improvement opportunities.